What is up, everybody? Before we get into the episode here, we love talking all things Resident Evil here. We do want to do a quick disclaimer before we dive more into these games. We are going to be diving into some dark topics, some dark stuff that these games mention in our gameplay walkthroughs. So I just want to give a quick disclaimer out there for those listening that we'll be talking about things involving SA or of that nature, or grape as the people like to call it, so we don't get, demonetized, even though we're not monetized. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about heavier topics like that, guys. So if some of this stuff is triggering to you guys, I would probably recommend skipping this episode and check out our other episodes. We have some other lighthearted episodes. Just fair warning, guys, before we dive into these, go deeper into the series. Or episode, as you can say. Just fair warning on that one. What is up, my nerd familia, and welcome to Games y Más, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of board games, video games, and a little bit of pop culture. I'm your host, Vic, and I would like to be the first to welcome you here to our little corner of nerdom. Whether you are a diehard anime fan, a manga reader, a film buff, to a casual, intermediate, cozy board gamer, to an aspiring esports star in the video game world, or to everything in between, this podcast is for you. We would love to engage with you guys, share some stories within the nerd familia, so come join us. If anything that we've said resonates with you, hey, join our wacky adventures here at Games y Más. We would love to have you here. So, with all that being said, pull up a chair, grab some dice, y acompáñame a jugar.
Welcome back to the Resident Evil Revisit series, a collaboration between the Operation Game Night podcast and the Games y Más podcast. We are chugging along. We're on our third game. No, not Resident Evil 3. It is Resident Evil 2. And we are jumping right into this one. This is going to be a bit of a long one because there's a lot to cover.
Yep.
But I want to start off right off the bat. Vic, what is your experience with RE2?
Oh, man. Okay, so RE2 is a game that I did not visit until I was done with actually Outbreak. After I got done playing Outbreak, I got done playing Resident Evil 4. I got done playing Resident Evil. I finished Resident Evil 4. I finished Resident Evil 0. I beat Resident Evil 1. I played Outbreak, and then I went to Resident Evil 2. I was jumping all over the place here. And so, I played Resident Evil 2. I played the original. I did not have like the original PlayStation. I had to emulate it. But I beat it, the emulated game, like maybe I want to say a good 14, 15 years ago. So I was still a wee lad, playing these games. And I remember the game, from my memory, being a bit shorter than Resident Evil 1. I felt like after when we get to the lab, and we're jumping ahead, but when I get to the lab, I remember like that being super quick, and then the game ended, and I was like, oh, that was it? Like, oh, okay. I thought there was going to be more. So I have some hot takes that we're going to talk about in regards to this and the remake. But my experience, it was not the second game in the series that I played. I kind of already got exposure to Resident Evil. And so when I got this number 2, I was like, all right, let's see what the hype is. Why is this one the most popular one? Why do people love this one? Why is Leon such a big hit? Like my first introduction to Leon was Resident Evil 4. It wasn't Resident Evil 2. Yeah. So when people were like, oh, you're Leon again in 4, I was like, okay, I don't know who that is, but okay, we'll get started. And so that was my experience with Resident Evil 2 there. Travis, what about you? What's your exposure to this game?
This one's probably my second most played behind Resident Evil 4. I am drawn to the Leon ones. I'm not sure why. Maybe I like kind of the side stories. Chris is kind of a big dumb himbo most of the time, so I kind of like Leon, who tends to be a little more nuanced, I think. I've played this one a whole bunch. Jumped right back in. I only played through the Resident Evil 2 remake. I think it's great. I think it's amazing. Very well done in the RE engine, which is phenomenal. We'll talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I'm ready to jump in.
Let's do it.
I'm champing at the bit. I want to talk a little bit about the history of Resident Evil 2.
All right, hit us with the history.
We need to talk about everyone's favorite sequel, the follow-up to Resident Evil 1, a hit video game. And everyone knows this one. The hit follow-up to Resident Evil 1 is, of course, Resident Evil Dash.
Resident Evil Dash. Wait, what? Wait, hold on.
I'm not familiar.
No, I am not familiar with this. Hold
not
on. Tell me about
Resident
this.
Evil
No,
Dash.
This is news to me.
So Resident Evil 1 did, bombshells, sold millions and millions of copies. And Capcom comes in and they want to follow up very quickly with another hit.
Okay.
And they want to go back to the RE universe. So we talked about Shinji Mikami, who was the director and the designer, like lead designer on the RE1. Mm-hmm. He gets moved up by Capcom to a producer role. Not happy about it. Wants to be in the weeds, wants to be in it, wants to be like hands on the rein with the design.
Oh, wow.
They bring in Hideki Kamiya. I believe it's Kamiya.
Okay.
And he is kind of this young new designer, and he's out there looking for jobs in the video game sphere. He gets rejected by Sega. He lands a job with Namco as a producer. Doesn't want to do that. Wants to be a designer. So he follows up, gets a job with Capcom, and they put him on the Resident Evil series. He is not a fan of horror movies, not a fan of horror as a genre, and he butts head hard with Mikami. Okay. Mikami is like, this guy doesn't even know what horror is. I have all the horror chops. Like, let me get in there. They butt heads really bad.
Yeah.
But the team is already starting on Resident Evil Dash. I think that was the code name for it at the time.
Okay.
They take about half the team from Resident Evil 1, roll them right into Resident Evil Dash, and they start working so hard on this follow-up. And they get 65% of the way done with Resident Evil Dash. They've got a concept. They've got some backgrounds. They've got the characters made. The main premise is that you're running around Raccoon City, and the virus has broken out of the labs that you see in Resident Evil 1. And the zombies are attacking people and turning them into plants. They're like more plant-based zombies, which we end up seeing in Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Plant-based zombies run around Raccoon City, turning people into vegetables, basically. But they got so ambitious, like no idea was a bad idea. And they started to put everything they could into this game. They had like gorilla zombies, which we see later in the series. Mm-hmm. They had all these weird backgrounds and cool stuff that they wanted to throw in, but they just could not get it done, and it was not coming together in a cohesive story. They get about 65% of the way done with this development of Resident Evil Dash. They announce it at Tokyo Game Show in 1996, and then shortly thereafter pulled the plug. They're like, we got to go back to the drawing board. This is not a cohesive follow-up that we want to represent Capcom. Okay. So they go back to the drawing board, and then they say, well, we got to put something out. And so they released the director's cut of RE1, which had added a couple of things here and there. Mm-hmm. They released a DualShock version of Resident Evil 1 to take advantage of PlayStation's new technology.
Yep.
And then they bring on Flagship. The company Flagship takes over as the content producer for Resident Evil 2 proper. Flagship has this great idea. Like, what if we had multiple characters that have standalone storylines that overlap with one another within the same zone, like the same region, the same map?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know where they got this inspiration?
What? From where?
Back to the Future 2.
That movie?
That movie had just come out.
Really? What?
And they're like, wouldn't it be cool if you had two heroes running around the same space at the same time, overlapping narratives? Like, you know how Marty McFly goes back and he has to basically make sure that his previous self succeeds?
Yes.
Flagship gets that idea from Back to the Future 2.
Really? What?
Yeah. So they put in all these characters and they start chopping away at Resident Evil 2. It gets a release.
Wow.
Finally released. They put it in, they think it's in a good enough space. They release it. Does gangbusters. Resident Evil 2 sells 5 million copies off the bat. But there were some hiccups with the development. So initially, they wanted to make sure, they wanted to take advantage of this new 512 megabyte storage on these new cartridges and on these new CD players. And right now, like the live action cutscenes is all the rage. Okay, you've got it in like Night Trap and things like that. Your Command and Conquers, these live action acted cutscenes. They wanted to do that, couldn't quite make space for it, couldn't quite get it done in time. And they wanted the feeling of like a handmade experience. So they wanted to put the polygons in and make them act out the scenes.
Okay.
The pre-renders. When the game launches, They have some of the pre-rendered polygons, but they don't have Ada's done.
Oh, wow.
So in the original version, the scene at the end when Ada and Leon are on the train, that's just not there.
Really?
Like, yeah, Ada is in none of the cutscenes because her rendered polygon is not developed yet by the time they put the cutscenes in.
So they couldn't do it in time? They couldn't
do it in time. So Ada's in none of the cutscenes.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, so they eventually follow up with another like remaster of it where they got there, and they're constantly rolling this timeline where they're releasing then re-releasing with the changes that they wanted to make.
Right. Okay.
But when they put it out onto the Nintendo 64, they wanted to make sure, because it went global about the same time that they released on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And when they did the US release, they wanted to subvert the rental market that was booming in America in the mid 90s. Okay. People would go out and rent their games, and this game is not long. Like, you can beat it in 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on how well you know it.
Right.
So they actually upped the difficulty, the baseline difficulty in the US versions, to subvert the rental market and to make people buy the game because you need more time than that one weekend rental or whatever.
Oh, you sneaky sneaks.
Yeah. So, it's got a cool history. I don't want to get into every little thing, but lots of hiccups, lots of, they restarted the game completely over after 65% development. Flash forward 2019, they released the remake in the RE engine, one that they built from the ground up for their development team. The engine is phenomenal. It's like one of the coolest engines. We will continue to sing its praises because it's in Biohazard On. That is like the first game that used the RE engine was Biohazard.
Okay.
And the remake is not at all like a remastering. They didn't just like up-res everything. They built it from the ground up in the RE engine. All new backgrounds, all new sound design. The one other thing that I want to say is, comes out in 2019, a stacked year for video games. Resident Evil 2 remake, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Baba Is You, like all these big name games that have like really lasted years since they released and have stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 remake, won the Video Game Chronicles, the VGC 2019 Game of the Year over all this stacked list of video games that it's competing with. So this game is great.
Yeah,
its accolades speak for itself.
Yeah, sure.
I want to turn it over to you to get a play-by-play through this game.
Yeah. Let's do the play-by-play. So, before again, we're gonna. I keep forgetting to do it at the beginning of the episode, but we'll do it again. But this is spoiler talk, guys. So we're gonna be doing the spoiler talk here for anyone that's not played Resident Evil 2 or the remake. Definitely the remake, a big spoiler talk. I know this game came out in 2019. Semi-newish, so I'm pretty sure some of you out there have not played the remake. So just reward going on here forward. There's gonna be some spoiler talk for Resident Evil 2 here. So do a quick pause on this episode and go beat yourself some Resident Evil 2, and then we can come back and talk. But for those that have already played it, let's get into this one here. Okay, I've played the original and I've played the remake. And wow, what a what a whirlwind this one was for sure, especially. We start off September 29th, 1998. 2 months later, after Resident Evil 1, the events happened. The Spencer Manson incident has occurred, and the surviving staff members went off and started proclaiming that Umbrella is behind all these attacks and doing all these things that are causing chaos amongst the city. And Umbrella's doing damage control and playing it off, going, the stars are just crazy people. They're not, they're just insane. Don't believe their lies. Don't believe their propaganda. We're a pharmaceutical company trying to improve the world here. We'll learn soon enough that they're doing the opposite. But so 2 months later has passed by, and we have you start off kind of how Resident Evil 1 was, where you get to choose. Are you going to be Claire Redfield or are you going to be Leon Kennedy? And, kind of like what you said, Travis, this game does have that like overlapping storyline. In the old version, the original, they do have kind of like overlapping, but I would say the map is kind of pretty much the same throughout the whole thing, just maybe some minor differences here and there. I think same thing with Resident Evil the remake, but there's a lot more changes if you play the second playthrough here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we start off. I mean, the beginning kind of starts off the same if you choose Leon or if you choose Claire. And if you're, a fan of the first one, you go, Claire Redfield. Wait a minute. Chris Redfield was in the first one. Who's Claire Redfield? Well, you find out that this is Chris's sister looking for him. And so with Claire's intro, she's driving her motorcycle with her little Angels jacket on, driving into town. The difference between this and the remake is that in this one, in the original, it's just regular nighttime. In the remake, it's like raining, pouring rain, which like you would not be riding a motorcycle in pouring rain. So I mean,
Claire would.
I mean, Claire would for sure. She's brave, but
But that's another thing. Like they wanted to set the tone early. They're like, this is a little different, and we have a new engine that's going to be super atmospheric, right?
Yeah.
And that rain just adds something to that scene that is so good.
Oh, it does. It does. And in the remake, it has like the truck driver. Like starts off with the truck driver and running over someone. I think
zombie.
A zombie. Yeah, runs over zombie. We don't get that in the original. In the original one, Claire stops at a gas station and is like, what's going on? What's happening here? And she's attacked by zombies. But she's saved by Leon. Leon saves Claire, and Leon's like, hey, get in the car, let's go, we gotta go. So they get in the car, and then there's a funny dialogue in the original where they get in the car and Leon's like, buckle up, and Claire's like, okay. like the most middle, like, okay. And then they just drive off. Okay, cool, sure. Why not? That gas station scene, I was like, oh snap. They're like, you start off right at the bat. Like, in the original, it's a cutscene, and then you get to the city. This is like an introductory, and I was generally freaking out because I was like, oh, whoa. What is this? What is going on? Hold on. We're starting off this game right here with Claire. Okay, let's go. So you do that. My question to you is, when you started the remake, did you start off with Claire as your first run through, or was it Leon for your first run through?
I started with Leon.
So I never did Leon's first run through. I just did him as second. And when you do the second run through, it just kind of just like abridges it. Yeah, jumps it. What is his intro when he does?
Go into the gas station and you are kind of walking up and down the aisles and stuff. You hear stuff going on in the back room.
Okay.
And somebody runs out and they like point a gun at you because they are scared. There's zombies everywhere. And then a zombie comes up from behind him and like eats him. And then you're dealing with two zombies. You're kind of running around. You're grabbing stuff off shelves and stuff. It's literally like a introductory area where there's just trying to onboard you into the new mechanics. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely atmospheric. And they let you know early that like, this is going to be a very moody game that is going to...
this game, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to scare you.
And so how does he meet Claire?
Yeah, he's fighting off zombies. He flings the door open, and Claire is standing there. He points the gun at her. She goes, don't shoot. And then he says, duck, and he shoots a zombie behind her, grabs Claire. They hop at the car, and they're driving off to Raccoon City.
Okay, so it's kind of the same thing with Claire. With Claire, you start off in the gas station, and then you run out, and Leon's out there waiting for you, and says duck, Claire, and shoots you. So same thing with the original. It's just a cutscene instead. You get some little bit of dialogue where Claire's like, "I'm looking for my brother, Chris." Leon's like, "Oh, I'm a police officer, first day on the job." Which I'm gonna ask you a little trivia here. Why was Leon late to the police to get to the police station? Do you know?
It takes a lot of work to get his hair to curl so perfectly. He was probably in the mirror, like getting his little swoop done for at least an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. That would have been a good answer. Yes. But the reason why the rookie Leon Kennedy was late, and I looked it up, and it's canon and it's true. The lore is that he just broke up with his ex.
Okay.
The night before, he was heading his way into the city and the frustration and the sadness and the mourning of not having a girlfriend anymore. He stops by at a motel before the city, and he does what every single person, sane person, every normal person, rational being would do when you get to a motel. He gets a good night's rest and he gets ready to go to work. Wrong. He drinks his sorrows away and he gets pitch black drunk. Great. And he wakes up with the hangover, and he wakes up the next day in the afternoon and is like, I am late for work. I gotta go. So, I don't know what you're trying to tell us here, Capcom, that, if you get drunk, we can avoid a, potential zombie apocalypse getting one of the victims. But
this game ain't for babies, Vic.
Yeah,
this is a serious game.
This is a real game, right? It's a man's game. Yeah, so that's the reason why he was late. That's why he was running late in the original.
Since we're talking introductions to a new character, what does the S in Leon Kennedy stand for? Leon S. Kennedy.
I didn't even know he had a middle name S. Well, what
Leon S. Kennedy. It stands for Scott.
Scott, really?
Yep.
But yes, they're making their way into Raccoon City, and they in the remake, the truck driver that we saw in the beginning crashes into them, and they explode, and they're separated for some reason. They're not killed, but again, these are the stars, so they survive anything. And same thing with the original; they are separated by this big tanker, and now you go your separate ways here in the game. Which I will say, this whole sequence, this whole Raccoon City, going through the streets of Raccoon City, is probably my favorite out of the whole game, and I think it's probably the hot take is I think it's the best part of the game. Kind of like with Resident Evil 0, where like the train is like the best part. Yeah. I think going through Raccoon City and like dodging all these zombies and going through the back alleyways and climbing up escape ladders, I thought that was like a highlight, especially in the original one. I was like, oh yeah, this is great, this is cool. And then when we get to the police station, you're like, okay, we're back into like mansion setting, kind of Resident Evil 1 type of status with underground layers and sewers and all that. So I was like, okay, seen this before. We know what we're up against. So the beginning for me, hot take, guys. I'm sorry, but I think the very beginning of Resident Evil 2 is probably the best part of the game. Afterwards, we're like, all right, we're back to familiar territory with some little changes here and there.
And that was going to be the majority of RE Dash. Was going to be like exploring Raccoon City, but they scrapped it. So.
Oh man, come on! We could have had plant zombies.
Yep, vegetables.
Vegetables. We could have had zombies versus plants right here. There you go. But yes, we're in the city. We meet the gun owner. That's the first interaction you have with the gun owner. If depending on who you play, which is kind of a little switch they do here. If you play as Leon and you meet the gun owner, he's holding a shotgun up to you. If you play as Claire, he's holding up a crossbow. So I'm like, cool. Okay, interesting. I think they're like foreshadowings because in the original one, Claire gets a crossbow at the end, like towards the middle of the game, and then Leon gets the shotgun. So it's like, okay, cool, a little foreshadowing there.
That's awesome.
You have the little famous, "Don't shoot, I'm human." Oh, sorry, there. You could tell this voice actor was Canadian. The gun owner was Canadian. He's like,
sorry about that.
Yeah, he's like, oh, sorry about that. I'm like, okay. I thought we're in America. What's going on here?
That's great.
So yeah, so you and then the gun owner meets his tragic end. Zombies break through, and you just got to keep going. We got to make our way to the police station. Leon said, "Meet me at the police station." So we're going to the police station here, depending on who you are. You go to the city, you go through buses, dodging things, which is funny because playing this one, they took away a cool thing that I enjoyed from Resident Evil 1 and 0 is that when you do and the remake brought it back, but in the original one, when you get an item, how you have to like examine it with like the 3D or something. They don't do that in the original. The original is just a picture, and you're like, oh, and you just click examine, and then it'll just give you a prompt or whatever, and you're like,
oh yeah,
oh, so you don't have to do like little like moving or maneuvering things,
secret piece or whatever.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I kind of enjoyed that about the other ones because like you get to like figure out puzzles and stuff like that. This one's like straight up. The menu interface was nice. It's really cool. It's more anime-ish, kind of more cartoonish, and then a lot of the sound design. I feel like my second favorite game series that I enjoy, even hot take debatable that I enjoy it more than Resident Evil, is the Dino Crisis series. I love that. I think those are scarier than the Resident Evil. That's my take. That's my take. Sorry, but those are my take. But that's Resident Evil 2 came out, and then. I believe in September of that year, Dino Crisis 1 was released by the same company. And so...
Guess who also did the production on Dino Crisis?
Was it the same guy?
Flagship.
Oh, Flagship?
Yeah, the guys that created the content and kind of the storyline development. Yeah, they did Dino Crisis as well.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go. Kudos to Flagships because they created a game that I was like, look, zombies are scary, but when you have dinosaurs coming after you, a Resident Evil style, that's even scarier. But that's another topic. We can dive deeper into those series as well. But yeah, some of the sound design stuff, I'm like, it's familiar from Resident Evil. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, from Dino Crisis. All right, nice, cool. You make your way, you're going through the city, and then you find your way into, the police station. I think, again, Resident Evil, the remake, the remake version, I think the city is beautifully done. It's 10 times scarier. I was freaking out because they made the zombies sound like way frightening. The noises they made, I was just like, dude, what is this like gurgling? Like,
oh, it's terrible.
I was just like, where's that coming from? And so, yes, I think beginning hot takes. Yes, I think before we get into the police station, the remake did a beautiful job with it. I wish there was more of it. It sucks that we have to play other games to kind of go more around it, especially with Nemesis and Outbreak to like discover more of the city. So I wish 2 did that, but I think that 2 did a great introductory of here's something new, here's something different. Again, we're still stuck with the limited inventory. And same thing with I think Leon only gets like 6 inventory, Claire gets 8. So I'm like, why are they doing these guys dirty? What's going on? What doing my boys dirty over here with that? So I was like, okay, whatever. We'll see what we can do. And then again, I'm missing the whole drop, item things because I'm like, there's so many times I need to drop things. I don't need to go back to the storage bin. I'm like, oh man, even with the remake too, they didn't do that. They didn't implement that. They implemented discard.
They're a little more generous with where they place those boxes in the remake.
That's true.
It makes up for it a little bit. I never thought that I would say that I missed the drop mechanism from RE0, but like here I am running around like, damn, I wish I had a box like right next to me.
Yep.
Or like there's a couple times, especially towards the end, where they just throw 1,000 items at you. Like, man, I have no room for this. I guess I'll take this, eat this herb, even though I don't need it because I have to clear up this space. So,
Yep. Of course. Yeah. That's, for sure. I agree 100%. But before we get into the Raccoon City Police Department, anything you want to add on to the city before we go into the main, I guess, the meat of the game here of the police station?
No, you mentioned the sound the zombies make, especially in the remake.
Yeah.
And you think about the time in which they're developing this, and you have like a long running history of zombie movies at this point, a long running history of like The Walking Dead being the most popular thing on TV.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to bring it up to standards. And like, there's probably 1,000 different voice actors that specialize in zombie noises.
Yeah.
And they really nailed it. Like, that is the most unsettling noise, is when you walk in a room and you can hear it like gargling and wheezing, and like it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Especially if you like have headphones on. But
yes,
man, it really sets the atmosphere. The sound design is incredible. You can hear the rain hitting metal and hitting the pavement. You can hear them splashing through the rain as they run. Like, all that stuff is great. The models on Leon and Claire look beautiful. They're phenomenal. They're interactive. Everything moves appropriately. Like, it looks so good. And you put them side by side with the original and the remake. And the original, they had a lot of these same ideas, right? Like, your character gets hurt and like they start like grabbing their side and limping and stuff. They developed the idea that like their clothes would get more worn and tattered and blood spattered through the game, even in the original. And now that they can really fully realize that vision in RE Remake.
Yes, it was. Oh man, yeah. Some of those little things that added on were great. You still had that cool mechanism from Resident Evil 1 in the original with Resident Evil 2, where you back up and like your character looks really scared. I'm glad they added that still, because it adds more of dynamic. Like, oh snap, this guy's coming after me.
One point of clarification: in the original, I could not remember. Can you do the quick turn, the 360, like the 180?
I think you could. I don't remember. No, you can't. You cannot. No,
I think they added that in 4 in the original.
Yes.
But they added it into the remake, and it's great.
Yes, and they added it in the remastered of Resident Evil 1 as well.
Yeah.
I think it was like left bump or something. You do like 180 turn quickly. Here's the thing that they took away, which I was pretty mad about, is my little aim cheat was not there anymore for the original. So when I had to aim, it would not whip to wherever it was. I had to physically turn around and aim. I was like, oh man, I hate this. This made it harder. This made the game much harder. I think they heard me, and they're like, went back in time and took it off. Yes, we make our way into Raccoon City Police Department. Now here is where I enjoy the remake of explaining of the police department, which I did not enjoy of the original one.
Yeah.
When we're in the original one, we're inside the police department and doors are locked and you need the spade key, you need the hard key. I'm like, why does a police department have like special club keys, whatever, design keys for these doors? Like, just get a master key. This is a police department, man. Why are there puzzles in the police department? And so like, it makes no sense. I don't get it. In the remake, I like it because it was like, okay, it used to be a museum. So there's going to be some certain things that are like, museum-esque kind of puzzles, things like, okay, I can get on board with that. That's fine. And they revamped it to a police station. Cool. In the original one, it's like, oh, you got to solve the fuse, Paul. I'm like, what fuse? Like, what's going on? Like, what is this? The plug, what? Oh, come on, bro. What was, all right. Yeah, I was getting mad about that because I'm like, from the mansion, I understand the designer created these booby traps for the mansions, cool. But I'm like, this is a police department. Why are you going to make booby traps at a police department? It makes no sense.
Yeah, you have like hidden seals around a police department for some reason. You're like getting a giant scepter with a gem in it from a statue. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, sure. It's a museum. Everybody loves a good museum with a booby trap. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I that's how I like my museums anyway. If you go to one without one, it's like it's boring.
What's the point?
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes. And so we're at this police department now. You might have to clarify some things here. When I did the second run through in the remake as Leon, it just puts me straight into the police department. Like it skipped like the going through the city stuff. Yeah, it went straight to the police department where you see Claire from the top of the stairs, and Leon's like, "Oh, hey, Claire, you made it."
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in the first run through. Do you go through the city and then you make it inside to the station, or do you also meet up with Claire and then
you do run through the city, and then you get in. You do like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of like running around this police station until you get up to that balcony and Claire is down there. Okay. Then when you play Claire second, you like she's like, let's go, find our way into this police station. Yeah. And then you run up and like Leon is already up there on the balcony. Okay. And so you skip a huge portion of that. But then Claire immediately gets inside the police station where she just saw Leon, but like doesn't think to look for him, just like starts running around the same areas. So the continuity there is not 100% and not real sound, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's how it was in with Leon's too. Like after you get separated, you go straight into the police station and Leon's there at the bottom and you see Claire and hey, this door is locked. Yeah, don't worry, I found my way around. And you go down into you go down to like that little like bridge of where the entrance is. You go inside that room and you that's where you get your uniform. You get your uniform in there, you get your gun, and that's how it starts. And you're just like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. In the original ones, you go through the whole thing. So you have to go through everything. So nothing is like abridged. Everything's still the same with some minor changes here and there. And Claire leaves you some notes and, hey, I found this, whatever. Or I appreciate, again, another hot take is I appreciate not the continuity, but like the flow of the story of the original. Okay. Then in the remake. The remake, I liked it, but it's like, if you played as Claire the first playthrough, and then you play as Leon the second playthrough, when you're going through the police department, it's like, all right, some things are gone already, or something is taken. Okay, you could tell that Claire was here. Claire was here already. Okay, that's cool. But I liked how in the original one, where it's like if you're Leon and you find like a note from Chris, Claire walks in. You're like, hey, Claire, I found this note from your brother. Okay. And then so they interact more in the police department rather than. In the remake, you just see each other like once or twice, and then like that's it, and then like you don't see each other till the very end. You're like, all right, cool, I guess. So there's more interactions in the original, which I enjoyed a lot.
I completely forgot about that. That's great.
Yeah, it was great. I liked it. It was a good, like, cool little, kept the story going, and it wasn't like you never see Claire again until the last scene. You're like, oh, okay, she's there. Yeah. So we're in this police department. Super freaky in the remake. In the original one, you have, the 90s music playing and stuff. I will say there is one spot that kind of freaked me out, and it's in the Leon playthrough as well. But when you enter the police department and you have to make that left into that room, the reception area, and you go around, and there's that window and the door, and you do that window, that scene where you see the liquor just walk by. Oh, man. In the original, that freaked me out because I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I was like, oh, crap. I forgot there's liquors in this game. Oh, man, this is going to be such a pain. And then you walk through the whole corridor, and there's a cutscene in the original one. In the remake, it's just there, and you're ready. It just attacks you out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, snap. And I liked in the original one where you're walking and you hear like dripping noise, and you look and you see there's like blood, and you look up and there's the little liquor. And they make weird noise. They make like hissing. They don't make like gasping noises. They're like...
Still the worst enemy. Like... They suck so bad. They're
oh my
so
god,
annoying.
I hated that. Like that's my least favorite enemy right there. I hated those things because you just hear them and they just like lunge from like half the map over to you, and you're like, ugh. I'm like, oh, dude. And then when you pair that with Mr. X, which we'll talk about soon, like that's even worse. So yeah, we're dealing with these new creatures, this new enemy that we're introduced to, the lickers.
Yeah.
You know, dangerous things. We don't have no more hunters now, so now they're got stuff to do with lickers. They chase after you, they jump after you. Okay, cool. We have the zombies in. I do enjoy in the remake and in the original where you can board up windows to keep them from coming. And in the remake you can get fuses to close the shutters. You close the shutters down, but you're limited, so you can't. You got to choose which ones are you going to shut and which one you're going to have to leave open for certain events in the game that would trigger more zombies coming into the police department, which I enjoyed. They took they didn't do it like in the first one where if you kill all the zombies, that's it. You're good.
Just breezing through.
Yeah, breeze. This one is like no. You're in the city, so they're gonna break through. So you're gonna have more. So be prepared.
Yeah.
All right, cool, great. We get through some puzzles. We have to find the medallions in the remake to open up the underground layer. In the original, you gotta. I forgot honestly, after I played the remake, I forgot everything about the original because I was like, dude, this remake just like took over. But you have to find some more products, take down, turn off the helicopter fire, and you do go in the underground. I believe in the original, yes, you go through like the sewer areas as well.
Yeah.
There's spiders in the original one again. I don't think there were spiders in the remake. I think they substituted them with that weird little like I don't know what that thing is, but we'll get to the sewers in a minute. What I did like about the remake, and this is we're gonna get into this now. And the thing that gave me the most heart attacks is Mr. X. We meet Mr. X, one tyrant prototype. In the original ones, you don't meet him until you do a second playthrough. If you do playthrough A, if you Leon A and Claire A, you don't get a Mr. X. You just go through the whole game, and that's it. And you verse William Birkin, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have the menacing thing that's walking around the halls and like chasing after you. You just have zombies and lickers coming after you, and I think that's it. In the police department,
that's wild. Like RE2 came out, and that was what everybody was talking about back in the day. It was like, oh, Mr. X, like you can't get away from him, you can't kill him. That he was the center of that conversation. And that's amazing to me. I don't even remember him not being through your first playthrough.
Yeah, I played through Claire A and Leon A, and I did not run into Mr. X at all. But But then when you play B, the second, then you run into Mr. X, and he's this menacing guy. He's not as based on what you had on the technology, he's just this guy that just walks slow, like and you're like, oh my god, and he's like in this brown trench coat, and you're like, okay,
fedora on,
and he's just walking by, and he's like. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can just run around him. It's fine. I'll get past him. In the remake, man, you just hear and you turn around, he's right there. And you're like, oh, I'm about to die. That's great.
His music rips so hard in the remake. It is like that weird, like techno action.
Yeah.
It's like very Matrix, circa 2001. Like
yes.
Man, it's so intense. I love it.
Or I hate it when you're like in a room and you just can hear him like and he's opening doors and you're like, oh crap, where is he? Like, oh geez, I have to find him. Oh great, that's just great. Like I think the first time I saw him that freaked me out the most was obviously whenever you turn off the fire from the airplane and he lifts it up and you're like, what the? I'm like, oh snap, okay, cool, whatever. So I run into the main like entrance and I'm like, all right, cool, I ditched him. And then that's when Marvin, I think his name is Marvin, the police guy, turns into the zombie. So I'm like, oh no, I have to kill him. So I kill him. And I'm like, all right, cool. But then all of a sudden I see the shadow behind me and it's like Mr. X behind me. And I was like, oh, what the? He followed me here? Like he's allowed to come through here? What? Oh, so I was like running away and I just ran back where like the main entrance, like when you make that left and you go to the hall where you meet the lickers for the first time. I ran through there again and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then there's lickers all of a sudden. There's more zombies. I'm like, oh, great. So, and then I turn around. There he is again. He's like right on my, I'm like, dude, this guy does not quit. So I had to like run into a save room and just stay there. I was like, dude, my heart was pounding that whole time. I was just like, because I was dodging through things and I was just like, dude, I'm about to die here. This sucks, bro.
I found myself running up and down the stairs a lot. Like there's like that portion in the remake where you have 3 floors of stairs that are all connected.
Yes.
And it was like cue the Benny Hall music, like running up and down the stairs. I can hear him thudding after me. I do like a loop. I kind of loop through a couple of the buildings. He's standing there like an idiot, and I run back down the stairs. Yes, I actually had the same thing happen to me. You go back, you have this like cutscene with Marvin where he stands up and like starts to attack you. I think it's a cutscene maybe. Shotgun Marvin in the face. Leon's like, I'm sorry, Marvin, I'll fix this. And like just flat delivery. And then boom, Mr. X is right there.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
I hate it. Yeah. I was freaking out the whole time. But as we're going through this, police department, we're getting some lore. I started reading more about the lore, started reading that, there's been some dealings with Umbrella and, Mr. Chief of Police Irons, Irons. What a scumbag this guy was. But, he was taking bribes from Umbrella so they can do their little shenanigans that they were trying to do. We read that William Birkin has been, kind of, hey, make sure you keep this people out. Make sure this is going on. I'm developing this new virus called the G virus. Oh, snap. What's going on? But if we play the first one, we knew, hey, we know what's going on. There's a new virus that William Birkin. And you're no stranger. If you've played 0 or 1, we're no stranger to William Birkin, Him and Albert Wesker are buddies here who were sent to kill Marcus. And we'll see, look how that turned out. And so William Birkin is the name that we're starting to see pop up a lot now in literature and in reports. We get some stories of how, the remaining survivors of the police were barricaded themselves, how they were trying to fend off, trying to wonder why there's an outbreak going on, what's happening, what's going on. So you get more of the lore of the city, of what's happening. And then, we finally, if you're Claire, I think if you're Claire or Leon, no, as Claire, you meet Chief Irons. You don't meet Chief Irons as
you meet
Leon.
him with Sherry.
Yes, you meet him with Sherry. We get introduced to Sherry, which okay, we'll talk about Sherry in a minute. But as Leon, you meet Ada. Which here we go. Last episode.
Hold on. We're skipping ahead.
Oh yeah.
We get the seals. We go underground. We meet the Tyrant for the first time in this world. Tyrant hops down, attacks you, goes crazy. You kind of run around like Benny Hall and you shoot him. He falls over the ledge. If you're playing as Leon, the ladder drops and he goes, someone's looking out for me.
Yes.
When you play this as Claire, you meet Sherry. Sherry comes out, introduces herself, lets the ladder down for you. And then you're immediately thrown into like a net storyline. And then you go up, you push the escape hatch up. You're in the parking lot. If you're Leon, you get attacked by some dogs. Ada saves you. That's how you're introduced to Ada for the first time in this game. You are not introduced to Ada when you play through as Claire. You end up in the parking garage with Sherry, and Chief Irons comes out, and that's where you meet Chief Irons.
Yes. But in the original one, you meet Ada and Sherry much earlier. You meet them in the police department. So when you're Leon, you get to the jail cells. Yeah. You don't go through any underground area. You go through the jail cells and you meet Ada, and Ada's there. And Ada's like, I'm looking for my boyfriend, John. You're like, oh, okay. Cool. And then I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Now let's go back to episode 1 where we did Resident Evil 1, where I was like, wait, is this the same Ada we read about in the memo that John was reaching out to? And then when this came out, I was like, I knew it.
So good.
People that are listening that know the whole lore, they're like, yeah, you idiot, you should know. We didn't know. Okay, I forgot all about it. So I was jumping with joy whenever like she explained it in the game. I was like, yeah. So you meet Ada in the cells early in the game, and she's like, I need you to help find my contact Ben. All right, cool. So you're going through the jail cells and you meet Ben, and Ben's like, oh yes, I can help you out. I just need you to get me out of here. Now in the remake, Ben is killed by Mr. X. X. In the original one, William Birkin, the Tyrant, kills Ben. Sticks some like weird little larva thing in his mouth. He's like, and dies.
Which happens to Chief Irons in the remake. Yeah, they split those two.
No, it also happens in the original too.
Well, they got rid of that one.
That happens to Chief Irons if you're playing as Claire.
Yes.
So if you play as Claire in the original one, Chief Irons gets little leech inside of him. If you're playing as Leon, it's Ben that gets a little leech inside of him. Because you don't meet Chief Irons at all in the original one. As Leon, as Claire, you meet Chief Irons.
Can I just say, best death that we've seen thus far in the Resident Evil series is that reporter. Is it Ben, the reporter?
Yes, Ben. Yeah.
In that jail cell when Mr. X just Kool-Aid mans his arm through the wall and like smashes his face. It is horrific. It is disgusting. His like eye pops out. It's really gross.
Yeah.
But man, what a badass death.
Yeah.
It's probably the best one we've seen so far.
Oh yeah, he got obliterated. I was like, oh. Yeah, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back.
Visceral for sure.
I don't care if he had a T-virus syndrome. He ain't coming back. His head's gone. Yes, yeah. He gets eviscerated by Ben. We meet more about Ada. Ada says that she's trying to find the inside scoop. In the original one, it doesn't mention that Ada's a mercenary. She just alludes that she's like a reporter trying to find like information and trying to bring down Umbrella. And Leon's like, all right, let's do it together. Cool. In the remake, you get this little like, who is Ada Mysterious? By the way, in the original one, I'm sorry, babe, but Ada was looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? She was looking pretty good. They did her pretty good, especially when you got the player. I was like, oh snap! Like, hey, what's up, girl?
Those polygons, man.
Those polygons. They did such a good job. They did a good remake version of her. So I'll admit I was a little bit distracted. When they're doing some cutscenes, I was like, oh yeah. I'm enjoying
in the remake or the original?
In the remake.
Oh,
in the remake, they in the original, it was whatever. Who cares? She looked better.
I was gonna say like those polygons. Laura Croft Tomb Raider.
Right, exactly. She was looking pretty. Actually, I like Claire better in the original. She looked a little bit good in the original. But Ada, what's up, girl? Hit your boy up. What's up? Yes, we meet there, and then we get to the Chief Iron little subplot in the original one with Claire. I think it's also in the remake, but the first time you meet Chief Irons as Claire in the original one, you have the mayor's daughter like dead on his desk. Like she's just dead on his desk, and he's just there chilling. Like I'm like, what the heck is going on with this?
A normal conversation with a dead body in the room.
Yeah, and like he like has his chair like turned, and then when you enter, he like turns around. He's like, oh, so you've made. You're like, oh, were you expecting her like to show up? Or are you just waiting for her to show up? But she's just dead. They're dead, and I was like, what the heck? And he was like, too bad the mayor's daughter thought she was safe with me. Blah blah. And I was like, what the heck is up with this creep, man? And then you read one of his diaries in the original one where he was like talking about how much he enjoys killing, which is really weird. He enjoys taxidermy a lot, and he's like explaining the joys of killing like a pig and slaughtering it, and then killing like this other animal. And he's like, you can tell that he's alluding to like wanting to try it on a human, see how much he's like. But like the writing was like, yo, this guy is way too dark. Like this is too much. And there was a couple of incidents where you meet a couple of characters that. Unalived themselves. And so I was like, oh, snap. Okay, this is very, very dark in this second. It is very dark.
That's interesting you mentioned that because, like, you meet Chief Irons instead of meeting Ada in the parking garage in the remake, you meet Chief Irons and you have Sherry there. You try and protect Sherry. He takes her, locks the gate behind you, and then takes her to the orphanage. Yes. We find out that there's some shady dealings between Umbrella and Orphanage. You show up at the orphanage and it says, like, Umbrella or like Raccoon City Umbrella Orphanage or whatever.
Yep.
And that's where Chief Irons is kind of holed up, and you kind of run around through there. And in his study in the very back, there's a dead girl on the table in the remake.
That's
that's probably a nod to the original. That's interesting.
Yes. And by the way, the orphanage not in the original. Not at all in the original. So the stuff with Sherry, you do get to be Sherry in the original, but that's to like help Claire get like a key or something like that to move over. Yeah. And then you do get to be Ada as well in the original one. I will say in the remake, the Sherry stuff was annoying for me. I was like, this is lame. This was kind of annoying.
It feels like a Mary Jane escort, like sneaking around mission.
Yeah, I was just like, this is dumb. Like I was like, I could have. That's where one of my deaths was, where I got trapped. He got caught me, and it's like you were trapped, and I had to start over with Claire again. And I was just like, okay.
That is one of the 8 special deaths in Resident Evil 2.
Really?
Yep, there are 8 special deaths.
Oh, okay, we'll get into that at the end. Okay. I want to know about those. So this is where kind of the original and the remake kind of deviate a little bit, because after you find all the stuff that you need in the Raccoon City, the police department, you go downstairs into the sewer treatments, and then you're there from now on. You don't go back up to the police department. I know in the remakes, you go outside for a little bit, and then like everything seems to be coming back to the police department, and you're going in and out and in and out. Which another hot take is I did not like that about the remake is I did not like going in. Going into the police department, going down into the plant, and then you're back up again. I was like,
you loop back through a lot.
Yes, and I did not like that. I was just like, this is lame. At least with the original, it was linear. You just keep going down the rabbit hole, and yeah, so. After the whole stuff that we got deviated from the the department, and we're down in the underground, we meet Annette. All right, who's Annette? What is going on with Annette? Now, Annette Birkin. I don't know. I forgot in the remake, like they say like who she is right away or something like that. I know in the original one, like Ada like saves you. Well, you get shot. You take a bullet for Ada Leon.
Yeah,
and then but like you don't know who that is, and then it's funny because Ada has that funny line where she's like. She sees there and she's like, that woman was, and she pauses and she's like, I got to go talk to her. And she like leaves. And I was like, what the heck? Like, oh, okay. And then you become Ada and you go after her, you don't care about Leon as much. And so I was like, all right, cool. So then we meet Annette and you know that she's Annette Birkin, wife of William Birkin. And they're both responsible for this G virus. We'll learn soon enough. You meet Annette in both as Claire and as Leon. Both different side branching stories.
Yep.
We'll get to that when we get to the lab. But we're in there in the remake. I like how you verse the G virus Birkin.
Yep.
He's scary, he's menacing. I almost died a couple times because I was like, what do I do? I got you got to shoot his eye to weaken him and stuff. And I was like, oh,
it's pretty gross.
Yes. Really, it's disgusting. And then he keeps morphing. So like he'll keep like morphing stuff. In the original, you have to find the plugs. You have the plug puzzle again, like how we had in the original with the rook and the king and the knight.
I hate that.
Yes, that one was so annoying. Oh man, I was like, the notes. It was like, oh, do you remember how to plug them in? It's like, oh, the knight and rook were together, but they're not next to the queen. But the queen was across. I was just like, oh, come on. Okay, I have to think about this now. Like
the first time I left, you have that separate room where you use the rook and maybe the queen to get into like a little cage area.
Oh,
and then
yes.
You take those back and take them over to like the main puzzle, and I left the other two there, and I had to backtrack all the way back. Dude,
I did the same thing. That was so annoying because I was like, I literally paused, and I was like, wait, if I take it out from here, it's gonna open this here, and I was like, dude, I'm spending way too much time on this. Like, I need to go. Yeah. Let's just go. Again, we're back to puzzles where, as adults, we're like, let's just go. Come on, I don't have time to think about any of this stuff. I need to go, and so. Yes, after you get done with the puzzles and you're down in the sewer, you make it into the sewer area. Again, in the original one, you're fighting mostly just zombies and some spiders. Yep. And then you fight the alligator. You fight this big alligator in both the remake and in the original one. The alligator was interesting because in the original one, you just had to run back and then just wait for it to eat this like tank and shoot it.
Yeah.
And then it blows up. In the remake, you had to like dodge it as you ran away. Like you had like this running sequence, like Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, kind of like running away. You had to dodge it, which I was like, okay, I guess that's cool. But that's one of my death scenes again. There, I got chomped by the alligator.
Okay.
Because I made a mistake because I thought it was gonna go right, but I actually went left, and I was like, oh no, and it got me. So I was one of my deaths.
Another one of the rare deaths.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm getting these rare deaths all the time. Nice, cool.
Get eaten by the alligator as Leon is one of the...
really? Oh, okay. Which is weird because I wonder why Claire didn't get an alligator in the remake. In the original one, whoever you are, you get an alligator regardless. Yeah. If you're Claire or Leon, you get, a lot of similarities again with the remake. With the original one, it was kind of the same thing, Tyrant 2, just with some changes here and there. I do appreciate in the remake... it kind of branched out and you had certain things, you would verse this instead of this, so I enjoy that a lot. Mm-hmm. But after the sewers, in the remake, you go back up to the police station to find more things. You find, go into the kennels and, you're getting more keys. In the original one, after the sewers, you're into the laboratory. You're in the underground laboratory with Umbrella. You find out there's a laboratory there. Some more interactions with Annette and Ada, where Ada's like, give me the G virus. And Annette's like, no, blah, blah, blah. As Claire, same thing with the remake that Waylon Birkin, plants the leech inside Sherry because we find out that Waylon Birkin's trying to find hosts to, implement his leeches, which is odd. But to create, it's really gross. And then we find out as Leon or as Claire, because Claire has more of a civil conversation with Annette.
Yeah.
Whereas Ada's like, I'm gonna shoot you, Annette. No, I'm gonna shoot you. Oh no, forget you. So Claire's like is revealed, and it reveals to Claire like, hey, William is looking for hosts with the same DNA. Same DNA to like if they have the same DNA, they'll react positively to the G virus and become like crazy like them. Otherwise you can become infected, whatever. And Claire's like, okay, so like, is that why he did the leech with Sherry? Because whatever. And Annette's like, yes, but the twist is that Sherry is not William Birkin's daughter. And it's like, what? Like, it's not his biological daughter. And I was like, oh snap! So it's gonna affect them. So she's gonna pretty much die. So as Claire, you got to find the antidote and heal up little Sherry, which I liked. Again, as much as Sherry was annoying. To me, she was a bit annoying. She was annoying in the remake and in the original. The original one, she was annoying because when you're as Claire, you have to escort her, and then if you start running off ahead too much, she'll just pause and like duck down, and you're like, ugh. So you have to go back and get her, and then she'll start following you again. I was just like, come on, Sherry, I don't have time for this, bro. There's like zombies there. Let's just go. And then with the Sherry in the remake, that whole level design thing, I was just like, this is lame. I didn't need this. Whatever. Who cares about this?
But you can tell that they thought about that, right? Like, you have kind of an escort mission with Sherry, but you're in an area where like your zombie encounters go way down.
Yes.
Like you are not running through the halls of the police station anymore, where around every single corner there's zombies hanging from the ceilings and crawling on the floor and all this stuff. Like, the pace and the way that they dole out the encounters drops way down so that you can engage with the puzzles a little more. Yeah. Because if you were constantly dodging zombies and stuff while you're trying to run around, plug these chest pieces into circuit breakers and stuff, you would get lost in there so easy. Yeah. So they do it for like clarity of the puzzle solving and for the, feasibility of escort missions. I think it's smart that the way that they did that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. Yes. I just wish Sherry would just follow me more instead of cowering behind. Whenever at the sight of me shooting a gun, she just cowers. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. And in the sewers with the remake, you are introduced to a new type of creature, which I don't know what to call them. You might have a better idea of what they're called, but they're like those weird things that are in the water that like will come after you and then they come up and shoot their eyes.
Yeah, they're like the big tyrants with the long necks, basically. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what they are, but those things were like freaky, and I was getting annoyed because you could see them, and then as soon as you shoot them, they'll start like coming at you on the water, like trying to grab you. And I was like, oh, and then they'll poison you if they get you. And I was like, oh, I hate these things. These things were annoying.
Yeah, pretty gross.
Yeah, so you got that new type of creature. Again, in the original one, you're not very introduced to a lot of more creatures until you reach the lab. And in the lab, so then when you're in the sewers, you just have the spiders and the zombies and the alligator, and then William Birkin. So pretty much after the sewers kind of wraps up, we are in this laboratory that we kept reading about lore about in the diaries. When you're in the sewers, you read diaries and like notes about how there's all these umbrella people coming through our facility. We were told to allow them. We're whatever, and all of a sudden now we're told not to let anyone in, unauthorized people. William Birkin is mad because, they're trying to get his samples. Do not let anyone in, blah, blah, blah. You're like, okay, what's going on? There's a feud. Umbrella found out about the G virus and wants the G virus. William Birkin doesn't want to give up the G virus. And he's like, this is my creation. They're going to steal it and kill me. So he goes rogue. And with the help of Chief Irons, they hatch up this plan to keep working under Umbrella, under their nose. But again, Umbrella found out and chaos ensued. But we find that out as we get into the laboratory. Again, The nest. We got the nest here. Again, we're back to repeating the same formula of Resident Evil 1, where we have that underground facility here. We're in the nest, and we're introduced to a new creature. In the original one, they're like these they're both plants. They're like plant zombies, I guess you could say. But in the original one, they look like creatures like you would see from like the little what's that movie called? The one with I'm drawing a blank. Oh crap, I'm drawing a blank. The guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the kid, the main guy, Rick Moranis. He was in another movie, the something Shop of Horrors or like something Shop of Horrors. Shop of Horrors, and you see that little how he has that little weird like plant creature thing.
Seymour.
Yes. So they look like Seymour. they look like that in Resident Evil, in the original one. They're like these tall looking plant things. They're like walk super slow and they'll poison you. And I was like, what the heck are these?
It's almost like the creatures from Resident Evil Dash that carried over. That's exactly where they came from.
That's why when you're saying plants, I was like, oh, maybe that's what they used it for in this, but I didn't want to jump ahead. But yes, in the remake, they look like more zombie-esque kind of plants that were pretty creepy, actually. They sounded really, their sound design was really scary. I was like, what the heck? They
sound like mandrakes shrieking when you burn them.
Yes, literally. And I was like, oh, snap. And it was funny because like, I know you got to burn them. You can use burn them, but like, I kept shooting them and then they would burn up. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay. In the laboratory, we have to, as Leon, you got to find Ada and you got to find the G virus. As Claire, you got to find an antidote to heal up Sherry because, you know, Sherry's dying. You don't have much time.
Yep.
So you're running around this lab, solving more puzzles. Now, here's one thing that I hated, and I was almost rage quit here, is that syringe puzzle in the remake where you have to move the beakers around and change the fluid. Oh, my gosh, I spent an ungodly amount. Like, this is the reason why my like outplay time at the end was like so high, because I just spent so much time on the stupid puzzle. I was like, I couldn't figure it out. It would like I would fill one tube up and it'd be like too much and fill it, and then like I was like, wait, I'm back to square one. I'm like, what do I do here? So I hated it. I hated it.
Playing late at night. I'm sure if you would have played it fresh, would have been super easy.
I was playing. I was trying to chug this game along, and I was like, dude, I need to get through this puzzle because I need. I was so mad. I was getting annoyed. So that, and both asked Claire and Leon, because you had to do both of them. And I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying.
The exact same puzzle.
exact same puzzle. And actually, if you do the second run through, it's a different like volume. Yeah. I
did not notice that.
Yes, because as Claire, it's like the middle. You have to fill up the middle one.
Yeah.
As Leon, you have to fill up the higher one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, like this was annoying. At first, when I did the second run through, I'm like, it's cool. I remember how to do it again. And I saw, I'm like, wait, this is different. I'm like, here I go again. This is gonna piss me off. This puzzle is gonna piss me off. But we need it so we can get the bracelet, because that does the herbicide, which we learned in the remake. It's plant 43. So I was like, oh snap. We had plant 42 in the original one. I guess they made another one here. So I guess Umbrella really likes their plants. So we have plant 43 here. And the original one, yes, you have the plant as well. Plant 43 as well. But a little bit more different. You don't have the syringe puzzle, in this one. So I love the original one. They didn't have that one. And so we go through this nest. We meet again, William Birkin, and we find the revelation of what happened when Umbrella came and tried to take the G virus. Yeah. They tried to take it from William, and they ended up shooting him, and the vials crashed. We find out that Umbrella actually got a vial, and one of the vials broke, and the rats started eating it, and that is how the outbreak began in Raccoon City. So it was the rats that caused it, which is funny because I knew that was the case, but because of Outbreak, because I played Outbreak first. And in Outbreak, it shows how the rats eat and infested the city. So I was like, oh, rats. So when I played 2, I was like, oh, that's where they got it from. And I was like, wait, this is where it originated from. Never mind. So the Outbreak was following the continuity, the same thing of Resident Evil 2, of how I escaped. So I was like, oh. So I guess if you're playing it for the first time, you're like, oh, crap, that's how rats are. But like, since I played already, I was like, oh, yeah, it's from Outbreak, right? And I'm like, idiot, this one came out first.
Well, then Leon has to beat you over the head with it, and he goes, oh, the rats, they ate the virus. I bet that's how it spread through the city. Like, thanks, Leon.
I get it.
In the remake, you find the videotapes.
Yes.
You find the videotapes, you take them over to the VCR. All the kids are confused. What the hell is this technology? But you get different cutscenes for Leon and Claire. I really like that. I think it's cool.
Yes, I thought it was cool too.
In the one with Leon, I think that's the one where he gets shot and the vials crash. In the one with Claire, you see him pick up one of the vials and inject himself. And then his wife runs in, Annette, and is like, what the heck did you do? And that's how we know that Billy Birkin became the big monstrosity that we have been interacting with.
Yeah, that's how we know. Okay, so that's who that was. That's what happens. A little nod to the fourth survivor with Hunk, which we can talk about that at the end. But yeah, that's why you see the Umbrella Corp, agents around all dead, because they went in when G-Man Birkin, kills everybody and is let loose. And then it's like, what have we done? We have to stop this. We've gone too far. And so unless she has a change of heart towards the end, especially with, as both playthroughs, because she's like, we got to stop this. You got to stop whatever. And so, we're fighting these new zombies, new plant zombies. Some lickers were in there in the remake. And I was like, I thought I got away from you guys. And I was so mad I had to deal with them. And then we have our boss fights. We're fighting Birkin. In the original one, this is where I died. I died fighting Birkin the second time around when you have the whole opera music playing, and the big final fight scene. I died twice in this battle because he was hard. He was very hard to beat, I was like, dude, you didn't have to make him this hard. Yeah. And so we fight him. Again, in the remakes, again, you have that final battle with him as well. With Claire, you go down, jump down to the platform, and Net's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I have to finish this, whatever." As Leon, I think you fall down or you get knocked down.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think you get knocked down, and so you have to deal with it afterwards. So you deal with him, and then you think, "Okay, cool, we beat him." You go back up. The self-destruct sequence is going on. We got to get out of here. Cool, whatever. So we have another countdown. Was there a countdown in the remake? I don't think there was a countdown.
Yes.
Yes, there was a countdown. Yes. Same thing with the original. There's a countdown again. So you go below.
There's a couple countdowns in this one in the remake.
Is there?
When you play as Ada, there's a countdown where you're trying to escape
the incinerator.
Yes. There's a countdown at the end of both of the playthroughs with Leon and Claire when you're trying to get out. And with Claire, it's another escort mission where you're walking around with Sherry and that time is ticking away. And you have to wait for her to like run through all the obstacles and get on the train and stuff. And like, that is super frustrating. That's the worst part. Cause I was like, oh my God, I don't know what all I have to do. And she's moving very slowly.
Yes. Like, come, hurry up. And also in the incinerator, that was my second death. That was my other death with Ada.
A third unique death.
Yes, Ada. I was like, what do I do? I was like scanning around, like, what do I do? I'm like, oh wait, I gotta move these. But it was like super quick, and I was like, oh wait, how do I figure this out? And by the time I figured it out, I got burnt up. So I'm dying by these unique deaths, man. I'm getting these unique deaths.
Do you want to hear the rest of them since we've already mentioned most of them?
Yeah, okay. What are the rest of these unique deaths? Here we go.
So first one, Hunted, is getting eaten up by the alligator as Leon.
Okay.
I don't think that they showed Claire because they have like weird rules about violence against women and like graphic cutscenes that show stuff like that make people uncomfortable.
And
Leon,
you don't fight the alligator.
Get chomped. Whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. We don't care about Julian. Whatever. We love our Claire.
Second one is called Burned. Let the time run out inside the incinerator as Ada.
Oh,
boom,
okay.
Got it.
Okay, I got that one.
Third, Head Crushed. Get killed by the Tyrant's grab attack. Tyrant grabs you.
Oh, yes.
Especially he does that with Claire a lot. Like grabs her and pushes her, and she has to like push back and like throw a grenade at him and stuff.
Yep.
Or stab him with a combat knife.
Yeah.
The fourth is Skewered. Get charged at by the Super Tyrant as Leon.
Oh, okay.
Super Tyrant comes at you with a big, big bone claw looking thing.
Yep.
Next one is Smashed. Hit self with container in the battle against the G-Man.
Oh, what the heck? Really?
Yeah, the G variant, whatever. Yeah. In the stage 2, where you have to push him off the edge with the container.
Yes, the container,
you can get in the way of the container. And
you get hit too? Oh, snap. Okay.
Next one is called Captured. Get caught by Brian Irons as Sherry.
Okay. Yes.
Blown Up. Let the time run out during the self-destruct phase in the lab. You just putz around until it blows up.
Yep.
And the last one is Human Mincemeat. Get killed by the G. They call him the G, but it's the G. Billy Birkin.
Billy Birkin.
In the second scenario. So
when you fight him again.
When you're fighting him again.
Which again, well, I'm glad you brought that because that transitions to you fight him again. You think you kill him once and you fight him again. Now he's like this weird dog type of thing. Weird on all fours now. Again, in the original one, you fight him again as well, and it's annoying. At least in the remake, as Claire, you get like a minigun. Yeah. So I was like, oh sweet, I got a minigun. I started blasting him. But I mean, that's still that's a fight. I died again. I died by him, both as Leon and Claire. So I was like, oh gosh. And you're like on a train going down again. Resident Evil likes trains, likes escape by trains. We had it. So you go do that. You escape. You defeat the big bad Birkin, and in the original one, as Claire, you're in the train and you're like, oh, Sherry, I healed you up. We're out of here. And then Leon joins you and you're like, all right, cool. Hey, Leon, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? So, and then as Leon, it's funny because as Leon, you go into the train at the end and like the doors open and Sherry's there with like Claire, but Sherry's like, Leon. I'm like, this girl don't know you. How do you know? She don't know you. Like, what the heck is up with that? Now, I could have mistaken it. It could have been Claire that said Leon, but like the camera was focused on Sherry. Yeah. So I was like, why is Sherry saying Leon? Like, she's never met him before. Like, what is up with this? Like, what's going on? And so I was just like, okay, sure. And so they're like, told you we make it. And then at the end of the original one, they're like, all right, I think Claire's like, oh, it's finally over, and Leon's like, no, we're just getting started. And Claire's like, we got to take down Umbrella. Same thing with Claire. In the remake, you leave the train and you guys are like walking down this dirt road.
You're walking away from Raccoon City.
Yes.
And then you almost get like run over by a truck that flips you off
as you try to hitchhike or stop.
And there's probably some connection, like that truck driver probably shows up somewhere else, but I am not tracking that one.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one. And then you have this weird dialogue where like Sherry, where she's like, "Are you guys gonna adopt me? Are you guys boyfriend and girlfriend?" Yeah. I was like, what the crap? Why would you ask that? Like, it's like we just met last night. I was like, Sherry. Shut up. like, shut up, girl. Like, you how are you asking these questions? We almost died. It's like, you can adopt me. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, skip this cutscene. Like, this is getting bad dialogue at this point right now. And then if you do the second run through, first and run throughs with both games, the second at the end, you verse one final boss in the train.
Yep.
And it's the final G-man guy trying to, destroy you. You have to blow him up with the rocket launcher and, escape before in the remake. In the original one, it is Mr.X. He's fully deformed and he's changed up and you have to fight him in the train.
Nice.
And you have to like unhook the trains and go back, and you need Sherry to like unhook something, do some weird stuff, whatever. I don't know. It was weird, but yeah, you verse Mr.X at the end. You're like, oh, okay, cool, he's alive. In the remake, he dies by the tyrant. Mr.X gets killed by the tyrant. Like, and so after you skip the train and everything, that pretty much concludes Resident Evil 2.
Wow,
man, what a journey. As much as how much we explained everything, I know we missed some things here and there. Very short game. I thought it was a short game. I beat this game, the original one. I beat it in. What did I beat it? I beat it in 4 hours and 13 minutes. I got the B ending with Leon, and I got the A ending with Claire, and then I got the final stuff afterwards. I had to replay them again. With the remake as Claire, I beat it in 5 hours and 24 minutes.
Nice.
I did it in 10 saves. And then as Leon, I beat it in 3 hours and 51 minutes with 13 saves.
Okay.
I guess because again, when you're playing the second run through, it's kind of like pretty just go. You know where to go. You know what to do. So I was kind of already there, and a lot of the stuff was kind of cut out anyway. So there was that, and then also, and there's a cool little nod to Resident Evil 3 on there. Whenever you get to the gun owner store and you meet the gun owner,
that's right. Yeah.
You meet a letter that was written from Jill to the gun owner. So I was like, oh snap, cool. You get a little nod to Resident Evil 3, which it's coming up soon. Which I don't know why they put the gun owner towards the like later half of the game, where in the original one he's like right away in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I guess it
is like the only way we can escape is through this gun shop. And
then
you walk in, there's like a grenade like sitting on the counter. And you just grab it.
Grab it.
Whatever.
And then it's like the zombie girl and stuff in the orphanage and stuff, which but Resident Evil 2, man, very, very, very surprised and impressed by the remake, 2019 remake. I enjoyed it a lot. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I forgot about the original one. I only remember key points. I did. My hot take, though, is I did enjoy playing the original one a little bit when it came to the storyline and the linearity of the game. It was pretty just straightforward. Go, the police department, sewers, underground lab, you're done.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. You have the overlapping stories for sure, but it was kind of the same thing with Resident Evil 1 where, yeah, there were some scenes that kind of overlapped, but the main structure of the game was still there. You still had to find the keys, still had to find this, still had to do this. You're still in the department, you know? And so I liked it, but what I did enjoy about the remake was that whenever you did the overlapping stories or the second playthroughs, you could see where Claire or Leon had been through already. You can, you know, some of the statues, little raccoon statues that you got to shoot to kind of unlock things. Those were already shot because I remember getting those from my first run through.
Nice.
You know, and so I appreciated that as well. But hot take is I enjoyed the second one, the original one, a little bit more. I have a little bit soft spot for that one because I had more of a fun encounter with that one. As easy as it was, maybe, and you still had the tank controls. I thought it was pretty cool. Final thoughts for you before we get to the questions that we ask here at the end.
So I have played Remake a lot, and I kind of flew through this one much faster than I thought I was going to. It's amazing how quickly that muscle memory comes back. And honestly, like the most running around you do is in the police station. If you can knock that section out quickly, you can move on with this game.
Yeah.
You can fly through it. And I have probably played the police station more than any other segment in the RE pantheon. Maybe the initial village in RE4, but this remake, I've played through that police station 1,000 times. So
okay,
I flew through that section. I still think it's like some of the best atmospherics in any RE game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The RE engine just really makes that shine. The lighting effects. Leon is like holding up his flashlight and it like moves naturally with his body. The sound effects as you run through there, you can hear zombies groaning and running and doors slamming and creaking and winds outside. And they just build that environment so well that it tells the story without any zombies even jumping out at you. So I really appreciate it. I think it's great. I'm ready to move on past this one.
Yes.
And I'm ready to dig into some of my lesser known RE titles.
Yes.
But it's always great to go back and revisit my friends, Leon and Ada and Annette and Claire. So let's hop into some closing questions here.
Yes. I want to do real quick some honorable mentions. We talked about real quick. We talked about the fourth survivor, Hunk. Yep. You get introduced to Hunk. I love Hunk. Hunk's one of my favorite characters in Mercenaries when I did in Resident Evil 4, which you can talk about that when we get to that. Yeah. But Hunk was like my favorite playable character. So I really enjoyed that they, you know, in the original one, they had the fourth survivor as well. When you beat the full game, you have Hunk who has to, you know, get the virus, get back. But
can I tell you about a secret fifth survivor?
The tofu?
The tofu, yeah.
The tofu, yes. I got the tofu. I did the tofu, nice. Yes. I played as tofu. I was dying laughing the whole time because it's like metal music playing while you're going to this game. And, you know, he's speaking in Japanese and all you have is knives.
It's great.
I thought it was great because, like, I mean, I thought it was going to be hard because I'm like, there's no way I can get, you know, especially with Mr.X. I was like, this guy like runs so slow, but I was able to figure it out. But the tofu, yes, I like the tofu, the Mr. Tofu. But it was cool because you get to play as Hunk as the Grim Reaper, and which is pretty cool. And you know, a little nod to Operation Raccoon City in the first mission. You play as a team that's escorting with Hunk to go get William Birkin, which we can talk about that in another episode here when we do like the spin-offs here. But I also enjoyed like the ghost survivors stories in the remake. I thought it was cool little like side what if stories. You know, you can play as the mayor's daughter and escape and meet up with your boyfriend Ben, who was in the jail cell. So you have to pretty much just playing the main map, just kind of like dodging through waves of zombies and, you know, getting your way in there. So like the gun owner, you get to, you know, you're about to kill yourself, but then you get a radio saying that you got to make it to the helipad. So you got to make your way through the city, back into Raccoon City Department and down there and, you know, make your way in there, fight waves of zombies. I thought that was pretty cool as well. There was also another one, which was you play as one of the operatives trying to escape with the G virus as well. I think it was like another like fourth survivor, like a kind of play on fourth survivor. That one was like my least favorite one. I was like, that was cool. But then when you beat all three, you unlock another one where you play as a police officer just fighting off waves of zombies in that gas station that you first start off in.
Nice.
So you got to beat like 100 zombies and then you escape. You know, you get out. I think like you escape with Leon. Leon comes and saves you, and then you go, you escape
awesome.
with it. So it's a cool little like side story, like what if, like alternate reality thing. So I thought this was cool little side, like, you know, things that you want to play at the end after when you're done playing, you know, the main storyline. You get unlocked things. You got to unlock like masks you put on your characters. It's cool. It was cool. The tofu thing was really funny. I was dying laughing because it was just like, all right, I dig it. I'm with this metal music and just
so silly.
It was fun. It was good. But anyway, I just want to honorable mention that there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to these last questions that we have here. Travis, go ahead, take it away with these questions.
Real quick, what is your favorite moment, your favorite enemy, and your favorite weapon from this game?
Okay, so favorite moment. We'll go with the original first. When I played the original, my favorite moment was when I found out that Ada was the person from the note in the first one, and she's mentioning John, and I was like, oh, let's go. So I was jumping with joy. That was one of my favorite moments for sure. That was cool.
The note was in 0, correct?
It was in 1, Resident Evil 1.
It was in 1, okay.
Because you have to use John's name, and then Ada was the password to get into the code to unlock the doors on the ground left. So that was pretty cool. Little nod there. I like that. That was my favorite moment for sure in the original one. In the remake, my favorite moment of that series, of that playthrough, I think I enjoyed a lot was, which is weird to say, but it was the Marvin scenes. When you meet Marvin, I think that was pretty cool because in the original one, you just meet him on the floor and he's like, go, get out of here, whatever. And then that's it. And then you don't see him again until he turns to a zombie. Yeah. At least in this one, you have more interaction with him. He's like, we have to get out of here, you know, whatever. You can tell he's dying, he's bit, he's going to turn soon, but you don't know when. And so, you know, he's helping you out. I did it as Claire. So you had that interaction with Claire. As Leon, he was already dead, you know, because Claire, you know, ended up killing him. So I like that. That was my favorite moment. Favorite weapon. In the original one was the crossbow, the little crossbow that Claire gets. Yeah. It shoots like 3, so you can shoot like 3 people at once. It was pretty cool. So that was my favorite weapon there in the original one. In the remake, my favorite weapon I enjoyed was the submachine gun that Claire gets.
Okay, the MQ-11.
Yes, and I like how you can upgrade almost all those good weapons that you can get.
Yeah, they get some cool upgrades.
Yes, so that was my favorite one, and also the Desert Eagle, the big the revolver one.
So good.
Just the joy of just blasting ahead. I was like, oh, that is so cool. So those are my favorite weapons. Favorite enemies in the original ones got to be the Lickers. As much as I hate them, those things were terrifying. Scared the crap out of me. Very iconic. Just a little hissing. I was like, oh, okay, great. There's Licker here. Very enjoyed it. In the remake, it's a tie between 1 is the zombies. I think the zombies were 10 times terrifying in this one. I mean, just walking around the corner and just hearing them, and you're just like wondering where the heck they are. They chase after you. They'll go through doors open and coming in after you. So that was very terrifying. The Lickers were whatever in this one. I was used to them. Okay, whatever. And then Mr.X. Wow, the formidable Mr.X. I mean, I know in like Biohazard 7, you have the family, the dad chasing after you.
Yeah.
But I'm not used to that. I never got to that part. And so I wasn't, you know, accustomed to like a big formidable enemy just coming after you, other than Lisa Trevor from the first one. But she was just slow and just whatever. This guy just charges at you and runs after you and doesn't relent. So that gave me a lot of heart attacks. My heart was pounding a bunch of times. I was just like, I'm not going to make it. And so I had some terrifying moments with Mr. X. So those were my favorite moments there, and favorite enemies, favorite weapons, and moments of the franchise. Travis, take it away with your 3 right there.
Oh, man. So favorite moment, I think one of my tops is probably the Mr. X reveal in the remake. Because you are just far away enough where he like is not completely visible in your flashlight, and Leon always has to hold his weapon like this with his flashlight underneath, and he's just visible at the edge of your flashlight. He's wearing all black with his big dumb trench coat and his big dumb black fedora.
Yeah, and
then he like one hand lifts the helicopter and moves it out of the way, and it's like he takes up the entire hallway. He's just like this big giant square of a man, and that reveal is just so good. You've got rain spattering on the windows and like lightning crashing outside. You get this big, huge hulk of a man that's standing at the end of the hallway. It's hard to beat that one. That one, And I would say the death of Ben by Mr. X.
Oh,
It's so surprising. Like you're having your mid conversation with this guy, and he sits down. He's like, "Well, fine, I'm not going to give you information." And like instantly, that hand comes crashing through and grabs him.
Yeah,
I think it's the best. It's the best death we've seen so far. I'm eager to see what else we have in store for us. So
yes.
That's also a stellar moment.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite enemy is just the baseline zombies. I love them so much. They're everywhere. You interact with them all the time, but especially in the remake, their sound design is great. Their like character designs are always so expressive. You know, if they were like just there in the police station, or they were a scientist, or they were a cop and they're like wearing their cop uniform, and they all have like different shapes and sizes. And it's not like you're shooting at one level to, take them all out. They all like have different height and different weights and they all just look and behave so differently. And I love it. Another great moment was like, I'm in the shooting range and I completely forgot that there's like zombies hiding around the corner. And I opened that door and there's one standing in my face, and I got tangled up with him as Leon, and he shoves the grenade in its mouth. And this is the one time this happened when I was playing through the remake. Shoves the grenade in his mouth and like pushes off. And then he draws down. I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about this. And you shoot the grenade and it explodes, and like, viscera goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Such a cool moment. And it's cool that you can do that. It's way better than like the stun gun or the combat knife. I think that it's awesome to be able to do that in a video game.
Yeah.
Favorite weapon? That's a tough one. The submachine gun for Claire is good. The MQ-11.
Yeah.
But when Leon upgrades his Matilda enough and it becomes like the submachine gun Matilda,
for the stock,
that is so much more satisfying to me. It feels good. It feels kind of weighty. It still feels similar to shooting the pistol. The MQ-11 feels a little weighty to me, like not weighty, but too light. Like you're shooting in short round bursts, like a Mac 10 or something. And I don't want to do like a drive-by with zombies. I want to like just feel feel
the shots.
Yeah, feel that shot. That feels so good to me once it's fully upgraded. The minigun feels good. It's kind of the same feeling as the minigun with Claire. And then the flamethrower burning up those plant zombies feels good with the flamethrower.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with the Matilda when it's upgraded to the automatic machine gun.
Yeah, that concludes our talk with Resident Evil 2, man. That was great. That was so much fun. I can't wait to move on to the next ones. A little sneak peek about some, things to reveal. I think we might move on with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I have completely forgotten this game. I don't know anything about this game. Like, it's been so long. Like, I remember when I played 2, I played 3 afterwards, and like I don't remember anything. So I don't know. I know you're Jill. I know you have Jill, but I don't know what the storyline is. I don't know what's going on, what's happening. I was looking at the timeline, and like the first half happens before 2, and then the second half happens after 2.
Cool.
That's all I know. I don't know anything. I don't know who you meet, who you fight. I know there's the Nemesis, but that's all. And I don't know. So I'm excited to play the original and the remake.
And if you're listening to or watching this podcast and you're playing along with us, play the original Resident Evil 3 first. Yeah. Because it is far expanded from the version that came out with the remake. The remake version you can play in one sitting. It's like 3 hours long. Yeah.
Really?
They cut out a whole bunch of sections of Raccoon City. I don't want to spoil too much, but they cut out so much to streamline the remake that it's kind of like frowned upon. It's like not looked upon highly amongst all their other remakes. So play the original first if you're going to play one.
Yes.
And then go and play the remake, and you'll fly through it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you're playing the game with us, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what your favorite moments are from Resident Evil 2. Is this your favorite game in the franchise? If it's not, again, let us know. Did we miss something? Let us know what your favorite moments, your favorite weapons, your favorite enemies. Do you like the original better than the remake, or does the remake did a better job? Please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. And while you're there commenting, please give Operation Game Night a follow. They're an amazing podcast. They're doing some good stuff there. All things you need to know about board games. They just did a talk on Project Hail Mary, which I enjoyed, which we need to talk about that offline because That was great. They talked about One Piece, the TV show. So they're expanding. They're expanding their sport games. So if you got a lot of topics, you can dive from there. So give them a follow. You can find them at Operation Podcast, Game Night Podcast on all socials. I got tongue twisted. Operation Game Night Podcast on all socials. And on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you like to listen or watch podcasts, you can give them a follow there as well. And then when you're done following them, subscribing, giving them all that love, you can follow us here at Games You Must Pod. Again, we're on all socials as well, Games You Must Pod. You can find us there on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, whatever you like to listen or watch podcasts or watch your short-term content. We're there. Please engage with us. We love to talk with you guys, grow our follower count, grow Operation Game Night's follower count as well. We're doing this for you guys because, as much as we love playing these games, we also want to share our love for these games with you guys and get a community going and talk some Resident Evil. So for those that have been commenting and chatting with us, we appreciate you guys, but we love to hear more from you guys. So give us a follow there on all socials. Again, we'll leave links below on our description to give us a follow. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you got to do to grow the algorithm for both of our channels here. And so this has been our Resident Evil 2 talk. Travis, get us out of here.
For Operation Game Night, I have been Travis Smith. For the Games E Moss podcast, he has been Vic Diaz. And this has been Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 2 Remake, Electric Boogaloo. And we are out.
Y nos vemos para la próxima.